Grab some paper and a pencil and let's sketch together. Hello everybody, I'm Nicole, these are my rabbits, and welcome to Sketching with Rabbits. So today I wanted to do a very casual sketch with me video for a few reasons. One, this is the day before I'm supposed to post this, so I wanted to do something a little bit more casual, a little bit easier for me to get a video out so I'm not missing a day. And two, I wanted to draw Huntrix from K-Pop Demon Hunters, and normally it would be a draw this in your style, like screenshot, but I felt like having to plan all that and then drawing it and setting it up would have taken too much time, so I figured we can sketch together. If you remember this sketchbook from the beginning of the year, I have not drawn in it since the end of January. So I did not keep up my resolution of drawing more often. I drew a lot in January, obviously, but pretty much stopped after the challenge. And I've obviously drawn outside of the sketchbook, but nothing more inside. So the last drawing is literally the Chinese New Year snake. I'll be sure to link this sketchbook down below along with all the other materials I'll be using in today's video. So let's go ahead and just hop right into it. So it's been quite a while since I've just sat down and drawn something without a plan. As I mentioned earlier, I am recording and editing this the day before I'm supposed to be posting this, so it is very poor planning on my end. But ever since seeing the movie K-Pop Demon Hunters, which is very popular right now, I really wanted to draw all the characters. Now, originally I was going to draw all three, but I ended up just drawing Rumi today. So the sketchbook that I'm using is the ELO sketchbook that I used in my 30-day drawing challenge at the beginning of this year. Now, the challenge was to draw something every single day, and it was also to jumpstart my resolution to draw more often. Since the last thing I drew in this sketchbook was from January 31st, I did not really keep that resolution. And I have drawn for other videos, but my intention with that resolution was more of drawing and sketching for fun rather than for only videos, which is kind of what I've been doing. Especially since I found out I was pregnant afterwards, I think my mindset kind of shifted from the resolution of drawing more to just preparing for baby. However, as an artist, I did just miss sketching for fun, so that's what we're doing today. Since it's been so long, I kind of got a little excited and grabbed a bunch of supplies that I thought might work. I'm obviously recording this audio afterwards, so I didn't use everything that I grabbed. I used the Prismacolor Colorase pencil in purple to sketch out Rumi. Now, originally I was going to use 3 different colors for all 3 characters, but like I said, I didn't really get a chance to draw all 3 of them. Plus, with how big I drew Rumi, Mira and Zoe would be tiny little silhouettes in the background, and I want to make sure that I give them the attention that they deserve too. I used the lavender pencil first and then followed up with the purple later to darken it. Now, I can only find these 2 colors within the Prismacolor Colorase 24 pack, and that has 24 different colors. I've tried looking for where someone sells the pencils individually because my preference would be just to choose the colors I want. So they do sell blue and red, but they don't sell like the pink or the purple separately. At least not on Amazon and not online. Any listing that I found online says they're out of stock or not available, which is definitely a bummer because I really like sketching in those colors. I feel like they're less in your face. So when it came to sketching Rumi, I did come across a few challenges. The first one was her hair, and that's not really a surprise to me because her hair is unique in that I've never drawn that hair before. But The main challenge actually came from drawing the braid because it was going in the opposite direction of what I would normally draw. Normally, I would make little heart shapes upright, but because this is a Dutch braid, it's upside down, and that definitely twisted my brain a little bit and made me think about it. So that was the first hurdle, but I ended up just making the hearts upside down and going from there to help my brain grasp it. And if I'm being honest, I still don't really know how to explain drawing braids. I kind of just make little wavy S pieces and hope it looks like a braid. But once I figure out the trick, I will make a tutorial so that it's a little easier for you guys. Another challenge was because I was sketching at a weird angle, mainly because the camera is literally in my face. She is looking a little bit skewed. I can see it mostly in her head because if I flip the image the other way, she looks a little elongated. And I also think her proportions are a little off because I was not looking at the drawing from the angle that I prefer. So if I were to change anything, it would be her left shoulder, the one where her sword is resting on her shoulder. I think it's a little too close, and I think it needs to go out a little more so that it looks more proportionate to the rest of her. When it came to finding references, that was another challenge because there were definitely a few that popped up multiple times, but any image to see their outfit in high resolution, to see any details, or to find a specific screenshot or reference for her markings, I couldn't find anything that was like definitive. But because this is a sketch with me and I'm trying to avoid perfectionism, I just ended up making up the patterns. I also looked at Scott Watanabe's Instagram, who is the character art director for the movie, and that really helped a lot. When it came to coloring, I knew I didn't want to do a full-on colored piece, so I focused on just the purples, pinks, and blues for the character. I only use markers from the Ohuhu pastel set, which I'll be sure to link down below in the description, along with all the other materials. When applying the markers, I did try to avoid being perfect and accurate, and I actually wanted to embrace the messy look, which was really fun to do when you don't really care about staying in the lines, especially when there aren't lines you have to stay into because the original artwork was just a sketch. Since the pastel markers can only be so dark, I did go in with some colored pencils to kind of darken the areas, especially on her hair. And because I used those same markers for shadows, I didn't want her hair to blend in as just a shadow. And I ended up only using one colored pencil from the Woomer set, but I think it added a good amount of depth and it kind of let me go a little crazy on the hair. And continuing with the theme of avoiding perfectionism, I used brush pens to outline her. Now I know you can be very precise with brush pens, but the way that I wanted to use them was to actually let the pen and the brush tip do its own thing. If I want a consistent line, I would use a fine liner, but I like to use brush pens when I'm feeling a little more carefree. After outlining, I got to do some of the fun parts, which included adding the gold gel pen. If you've watched a lot of my previous videos, you know that I like adding all those accents. And then one of the last things that I did was actually add little rhinestone stickers to the entire drawing, mainly her hair. I got these from Daiso, but I thought that they would be really cute and add some sparkles, especially because her final outfit, she technically does have little gold pieces in her hair. Now, I might have gone a little crazy and put way more than there actually is, but I love how sparkly it makes it. I did try to put a purple rhinestone in the corner of her eye because you can see it in the close-up of how it's done, but It was a lot bigger than I thought, so it looked really funky, and I ended up putting it on the outside of her eye. So I really had a lot of fun sketching Rumi, and I would like to sketch Mira and Zoe. Maybe they can be another sketch with me, I don't know yet, but I will definitely draw them in the future. Even though this drawing was not planned out or refined, I still really like how it turned out, and it was really fun to do. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did and want to see more of this casual sketch with me type, then be sure to let me know in the comments and I will be sure to do more of these. If you also like this more vlogging style, I am starting to post more on my second channel, Cottontail Diaries, which I'll leave linked over here and in the description as well. I show a little behind the scenes of what goes on when I film videos. There's obviously a lot of rabbits, and then cleaning and baby stuff and motivational stuff. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and hop on over there. So with that, I want to thank you all so much for joining me today. Keep creating cottontails. I will see you in the next video.